Yo, how's it going, guys? We're gonna be doing a quick little update video for the build and runes today, since I have actually been playing a bit of KLED MID recently. So I wanted to do a little guide going over both top and mid rune pages, since I had people ask me that alongside all the builds. So yeah, let's get right to it. First, we're gonna go into the runes for both. For top lane, it's still the same as pretty much all season or split long, where I'm running Conquer with Transcendence Gathering, Triumph, Haste, and Last Stand with double adaptive, and I always like the flat haste or flat HP. I do Tenacity sometimes into heavy CC comps, but I like the flat HP over the scaling HP. You can go attack speed if you like, instead of having double adaptive, but I personally think double adaptive just feels better. Into poke matchups or range matchups, you can do this page though. You can go Demolish Second Wind, or you can just go this more in general if you feel like you need it. But I do think for the majority of Transcendence, Gathering Storm is just better. But yeah, it's pretty standard. It's still about the same for at least the top runes. Now moving on to mid, I have a separate page, which I've been going Magical Footwear with Cosmic Insight alongside the Conquer page. I did test out PTA a decent amount this week to see how it felt, and I don't think PTA is terrible mid lane. Like, I don't think it's good top, just because PTA falls off pretty quickly in terms of damage output compared to Conqueror. Like, it just gets outscaled by like a little 7-8. And in most bruiser and tank matchups top lane, it's just never really worth it because they have enough like resist to just kind of survive the burst anyways. But mid lane, you are playing against more squishy champs, so you do have a little bit more of an argument to go PTA. But I did around like 15-20 games of PTA, and I've done around like 10 games of Conquer mid, and I've had just more success with Conquer. And the damage output difference between the two was very minimal in the first few levels from what I've experimented with, so I think Conquer is still better with it. But yeah, I've been really liking Magical Footwear with Cosmic Insight mid lane, and I'm also running Ignite mid. Top lane I'm still running TP, but yeah, mid lane I have been running Ignite. So having Cosmic for Ignite is really nice because it just gives you an extra 30-second window to always, like, just have your Ignite up to look for more like kills and stuff like that. And then also having Flash and shorter CD is also just very nice to have. And it's just a very good snowball page. So that's why I really like this page. I do think you can go like Transcendence Gathering mid, it's not bad. But yeah, I've had a lot more success with this page, so I'd recommend going this mid page, or at least trying this out mid if you ever do run KLED mid. It feels pretty good. But yeah, that's enough for the runes, and now we're going into items. So for top lane, I'm still pretty much going the same standard build top lane from what I've been doing in the last update video I did, which is the build with Hubris, Profane, LDR, and then usually I'll go Collector IE or IE Collector just like for a crit. But I have been experimenting a bit more too with starting to go more lethality options, like just going like Higiomus and Axiom Arc 4/5 as well. I think it's also fine. But yeah, the crit variation is still pretty good. But it's just more preference, to be honest. But the build hasn't really changed too much top lane. It's still pretty much the same. You could obviously like switch this Hubris out for like an Eclipse if you really wanted to, if like you feel like you absolutely need Eclipse or like this is survivability early. But I personally think Hubris just feels better throughout the game, so I think it just feels a bit better. So that's usually what I run top. And yeah, it hasn't really changed too much. But now going into mid, I think this mid page I've been, or mid build I've been running recently has actually been really good. So what I've been doing is I've been rushing Profane Hydra and then building these Baron Recall boots, because they're very good for like being able to just get around the map, and also just having tempo after your roams. Having that extra 4 seconds shaved off your recall timer is just super huge for like being able to make plays around the map. So it feels really good. Then I go into a Yomu's and Axiom. This gives even more map pressure with the Yomu's boost speed, and then Axiom having your ult up at all times, that you can just keep making plays around the map and just getting picks. So it just feels really good. And then I go into LDR. Fifth item just depends on the game. I'll sometimes go Collector, or I'll go Opportunity, just depending on if I feel like I want the extra crit chance or if I want a little bit more extra lethality for the burst. And also the move speed's kind of nice from Opportunity as well for even more mobility on the map. And then obviously if they have a lot of shields, then Serpents can be good. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been running every game mid lane. It feels really good. I will say that mid lane I do sometimes actually start Longstar 3 pot. instead of going like a D-Blade or D-Shield. I've been pretty greedy with it, and I mean, it's been working for me, but obviously you can just go like D-Shield if you want into poke lanes, that's fine. I just like getting the D-Blade or the longsword early because it gets you to your team out really quickly. Because once you get your team out, you can just start shoving and just moving around the map and making plays. Also, I forgot to mention this, but for top lane, also, if you're into a tank matchup, I recommend always just rushing Ravenous. I said this in my last video as well. But yeah, Ravenous feels really good in the tanks. I know some people always try to make the argument of, oh, I think Cleaver is just good in the tanks or whatever, but I swear Cleaver just isn't a good item. At the moment compared to just building stuff like LDR. LDR did get nerfed this patch, so it gives 35% pen now, but the item is still really good, so I still think it's the best pen item on KLED. But yeah, in the tanks, if you just go Ravenous Rush, you can kind of just ignore them and get plates early. And then on top of that too, like, just you're gonna slowly start to chunk them out and just perm out sustain them with how insane Ravenous sustain is. So you kind of just ignore them and just start taking over the game. So what I do in the tanks is I usually do Ravenous in the LDR, and then I usually like going full crit, but you can go into lethality afterwards. Just more preference, but yeah, this is usually what I would do into tank matchups. It just feels really nice. And then in the healing comps, obviously, like, if there's like a ton of healing, I'd say you can go Mortal, but honestly, if it's only like 1 or 2 healing champs, and it's not like that problematic, I probably wouldn't even recommend going Mortal and Minder anymore as like often, just because they did nerf the AD. It's not only just 35 AD, which is very low on an item. Like, obviously the pen is still fine, but yeah, it's a lot of gold investing into only 35 ADs. So now Mortal is like a very niche item. Pretty much every game you're just running LDR now, even though it got nerfed as well. It's just, it gives 10 more AD than Mortal, and you still have your healing reduction on your Q, right? So I don't think Mortal's that needed unless like their comp is like super crazy for healing. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the builds and runes. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you guys have any questions in the or any questions for me, let me know down below in the comment section. And yeah, I'll keep trying to keep you guys up to date if my builds do change at all. But for the most part, for top lane at least, they've been pretty much the exact same. And then yeah, I have that new mid build which I've mentioned, and I definitely recommend even just trying it out if you guys haven't played KLED mid at all, because KLED mid actually does feel pretty good right now. Obviously, there are some matchups that are a little annoying, but I do think it's pretty strong, so I definitely recommend at least trying it out. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone.